Oh yeah. I'm gonna dig into this. Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Gilbert Fireplaces and Barbecues. And today, we're gonna smoke chuck roast on the Kamado Joe Classic 3, utilizing the brand new Hyperbolic smoke chamber. Let's get going. All right, so since the fuel source for the Kamado Joes is charcoal, the first thing we're gonna do is get it loaded up with the charcoal and get it going. All right, so the wood we're gonna be using today for our smoke is gonna be red oak. So I'm just gonna throw a couple chunks in there. That's all you're really gonna need. And we'll get these lit up. So the lighter I'm using today is the Electrolyte. It's incredible. It gets your charcoal lit in about 2 minutes. So it's a great way to get your charcoal lit fast. I'm actually gonna use it to get the wood somewhat lit as well so we can get nice smoke on it. All right, so one of the upgrades on the Kamado Joe Classic 3 is the Hyperbolic smoke chamber. Now what this is gonna do is it's gonna help redistribute that smoke and that heat a little bit more evenly inside the grill. So now that we have our charcoal lit, we're gonna place this inside, and then we're gonna rest the cooking grate right on top of this. So with this Hyperbolic smoke chamber, you can kind of see how that smoke is starting to kind of just release around the edges of that ring. So it's gonna completely engulf the food once I put that grate on there. So it's an excellent design, designed by Harvard scientists, believe it or not. All right, so now that we have the Hyperbolic smoke chamber in place, we're gonna kind of dial in our temperature. So on this chuck roast today, we're gonna wanna be between about 225 and 235 with our temperature. On the Kamado Joe units, you regulate the temperature with the vents. You have a vent in the top, on the control top here, and you have a vent on the bottom. So adjusting those vents is gonna give you your temperature. The more open those vents are, the higher temperature you're gonna get. So because we wanna be at a lower temperature today, I'm gonna turn these down. So we're gonna go about there on the top vent, and then we're gonna close this up to about there. That should give us right around 225 to 250, and then we'll kind of regulate it from there. So we chose chuck roast today for a few different reasons. One, it's super versatile. You can use it for chilies, stews, sandwiches, and also it's a less expensive alternative to brisket. If you don't want to go out and buy a huge brisket and spend a lot of money, get a chuck roast and smoke it essentially the same way. You could even make burnt ends out of it. So it's super versatile, super delicious, and so that's why we're gonna do it today. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna season these up. So we're gonna wanna put some olive oil down as our binder. All right, so now it's time to season these. Today we're gonna use John Henry's Texas brisket rub. It's a great seasoning for beef, so let's get going. All right, so we got these babies seasoned up. We got the smoker right at the 225-degree mark. Let's get them on. We're anticipating these are gonna be about 8 hours or so. We'll come back after 8 hours, check on them, see where they're at. But right now, let's get them on. All right, so we've had these chuck roasts on for about 3 hours now. I actually just took the temperature, and our internal temperature is reading about 160 degrees, which is where you want to be. These are smaller chuck roasts. They're about 3 pounds each, so they didn't take quite as long as a traditional like 6 or 7 pound chuck roast would take. So what we're gonna do now, basically take them off, we're gonna wrap them in our foil, we're gonna let them tenderize for at least another hour or so. We'll check on the tenderness then, and then hopefully they're ready to cut into. All right, so we've had these 2 chuck roasts wrapped in foil for about 2 hours now, letting them kind of tenderize. So I have my temperature probe here. So we're gonna probe these for tenderness and see if they're ready to go. All right, let's check these out. Oh yeah, they smell incredible. Oh yeah, very little resistance on this. All right, so both these chuck roasts are definitely tender. They're definitely done. I can't wait to eat them. Initially, when we got started, we were gonna use both these for a chili. We're still gonna make that chili, but after smelling this chuck roast, looking at it, I thought, man, burnt ends sound real nice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the smaller chuck roast, I'm gonna chop it up, we're gonna mix it with some sauce, throw it back on the unit, we're gonna fire this thing up, get it going again back closer to 300 degrees, let them kind of tenderize on there for another half hour, and then we got our meat candy. Oh yeah. So with burnt ends, what I like to do is use a barbecue sauce that's got a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of heat to it. I kind of like that spice, kind of balances it out. So we sell one here called the Old Mule. It's with the Chipotle kick. So this one's gonna give you that nice Chipotle, heat to it. It's gonna give you the sweetness of the seasoning as well. So this is a perfect one for burnt ends. All right, so we've had these burnt ends on now for about 35 minutes or so. They're probably done. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna dig into this. All right, use some of that Old Mule Chipotle sauce. Dip this in, let's see how they taste. The chili's gonna be good, but boy, am I glad we decided to do burnt ends. Oh, they're incredible. You got the sweetness, the spiciness, the smokiness, definitely meat candy. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us while we smoked these chuck roasts today. These burnt ends were unbelievable. The chili we make is gonna be unbelievable with them too. I love the Kamado Joe Classic 3. That hyperbolic smoke chamber really did a nice job of engulfing everything in that smoke, giving us a nice even temperature. If you like these Kamado Joe Classic 3s and want to see them in person, come into our showroom. And for more tips and tricks for anything fireplace and barbecue related, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. This is Ryan with Gilbert Fireplaces and Barbecues, where indoor comfort meets outdoor entertaining.